In the 37th year of Konoha, the Second Ninja War took place on the border battlefield of the Land of Wind. Clang, 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 bang 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 bang. Kunai flying all over the sky and shurikens clashing fiercely. At the same time, there were continuous explosions. Screams, calls to kill, and angry curses were all heard. The Konoha shinobi army and the Sand shinobi army fought desperately against each other, and broken corpses could be seen everywhere. All this indicates the tragedy of this war. At this time, a lone head lay under a tree, with a short sword stuck in front of the head. The blade of the knife was inserted directly into the ground, fixing the head in this place. Wear the Konoha shinobi forehead protector on your forehead. That ferocious and childish face was obviously a beheaded Konoha genin. Within this short sword, Jong-san's soul consciousness woke up and looked at everything around him blankly. It really felt like he was dreaming. Where is this place? Suddenly, Jong-san saw a Konoha shinobi not far away holding a kunai and inserting it directly into the heart of a Sand shinobi. The Sand shinobi used the last of his strength to kick the Konoha shinobi away with a heartless kick. Then the Sand shinobi collapsed to the ground with a bang, his whole body trembled a few times, and finally died silently. Such a scene made Jong-san suddenly feel frightened and secretly thought. Killed. Then, the kicked Konoha shinobi rolled and fell next to Jong-san. Only then did Jong-san notice the ninja forehead protector worn on the head of this Konoha shinobi. Wait, this abstract leaf, is this the Konoha shinobi? The killed ninja over there, that hourglass-like forehead protector, is that Sand shinobi? So, I came to the ninja world? This is a battlefield. Tisk. Have you traveled through time? Jong-san smacked his lips. Although there was still a trace of surprise in his heart, he easily accepted this fact. At the same time, he also accepted the fact that he traveled through time and became a short sword. What can you do if you don't accept it? You can't go back through time. Eh? That's disgusting. At this time, Jong-san finally noticed that the blade of the knife was inserted into a head. I just feel extremely psychologically unwell and my scalp is numb. Jong-san could even feel the brain fluid flowing in this head. The scene was terrifying just thinking about it. What should I do? It has become a short sword, cannot move, and is still a dangerous ninja battlefield. To be honest, Jong-san also felt bald when he traveled through time and became short sword. Ding. God-level evolution system is being bound. Binding successful. System? Sure enough, a qualified time traveler cannot do without a system. Jong-san suddenly thought happily and breathed a sigh of relief. No matter what system it is, it can always get him out of this predicament. Host. Jong-san Sword Master. None talent. None skills. None evolution points. 0 tenths, such a simple interface, doesn't it have any other functions? Jong-san carefully observed the interface in front of him. Well, it doesn't look very intelligent. Don't you have a gift package for newbies? This clear system interface has no response to Jong-san's words. So, this evolution point is the most important, how to get it? While Jong-san was deep in thought, a Sand shinobi suddenly appeared from behind a nearby tree. The Konoha shinobi next to Jong-san threw out 3 shurikens. Whoosh whoosh. The shurikens that shot out spun at extremely high speeds, sweeping the air along the way. Buzz. The power cannot be underestimated at first glance. That Konoha shinobi is also alert. After sensing the danger, he made several tactical rolls to avoid the shuriken attack. Bang bang bang. The 3 shurikens sank directly into the ground. At this time, the Sand shinobi held a kunai in both hands and rushed towards the Konoha shinobi. Damn Konoha shinobi. Go to hell. At a critical moment, this Konoha shinobi certainly cannot give up. My right hand reached for the ninja tool bag, but it was empty. Oops. The last kunai is used up. This Konoha shinobi just killed a Sand shinobi with a kunai. But the kunai still remains in the heart of the dead Sand shinobi. The Konoha shinobi noticed Jong-san's short sword out of the corner of his eye. He held the short sword very decisively and slashed at Sand shinobi's kunai. Clang. There was a harsh sound of Jin-ji-e, flashing with golden sparks. Jong-san's heart trembled, he was really afraid that the blade would break. Once the blade is broken, Jong-san may also have to die. Fortunately, it was just a false alarm, and Jong-san's blade was still very strong. Swordmaster. Nohara Hiroshi. Do you want to check the knife owner's information? This Konoha shinobi is called Nohara Hiroshi? Jong-san muttered in his heart, and then said decisively. Check the knife owner's information. Swordmaster, Nohara Hiroshi. Level. Konoha Genin age, 12 years old talent, elementary perception. Ninjutsu. Body replacement technique, transformation technique, clone technique. Clear introduction as always. It seems that Nohara Hiroshi is a civilian ninja. He only knows the simple 3-body technique, but his elementary perception talent is pretty good. Ninja battles are constantly changing, and having the ability to sense can predict danger. This is also an important reason why Nohara Hiroshi can live for so long and kill many Sand Shinobi. At this time, the Konoha Shinobi leader Nohara Hiroshi relied on his excellent perception ability to deal with the Sand Shinobi several times. While Sand Shinobi's power is exhausted and new power is not yet generated. Instead of retreating, he advanced closer to Sand Shinobi, held the short sword behind his back, and stabbed Sand Shinobi's head from bottom to top. A sting. The short sword directly pierced the head of this Sand Shinobi. Jong-san felt the flowing brain fluid again, and his mood was really complicated. Ding. Successfully kill Sand Shinobi Fujiwara UMI and get plus 10 evolution points. Ding. Evolution points 10 out of 10, meet the evolution conditions, start evolution or not. It turns out that the way to get evolution points is to kill. Evolution must be started. Jong-san understood clearly and said this decisively. Evolution Choice 1, Strong Talent, Blade Defense plus 100%. Evolution Choice 2, Talent Brute Force, Strength plus 100%. Evolution Choice 3, Talent Shower, Attack Speed plus 100%. Well, 3 evolutionary options. Sturdiness, Brute Force, and Shower, corresponding to Defense, Strength, and Attack Speed, are all very good evolutionary choices. Jong-san pondered for a few seconds and then said. Evolutionary Option 1, confirmed. Compared to Strength and Attack Speed, Jong-san feels that Defense is more important at this stage. In the competition with Kanai just now, Jong-san had been worried about whether the blade would break. As the old saying goes, you need to be tough to make iron. That doesn't seem to be the case. In general, Jong-san pays more attention to defense at this time. Evolution Choice 1, Strong Talent, Blade Defense plus 100%, confirmed. Ding. Evolution successful. Host, Jong-san. Swordmaster. Nohara Hiroshi Talent, Solid, Defense plus 100%. Skills. None evolution points. 0 100ths. After the evolution was successful, Jong-san clearly felt that the blade had changed, and it was a bit thicker than the original blade. It looks very sturdy. No more worrying about the blade breaking or anything. At this time, Nohara Hiroshi, who killed Sand Shinobi, also felt the changes in Jong-san's short sword. Illusion. Nohara Hiroshi, who has almost exhausted his chakra, doesn't really trust his own perception. After exhausting all his strength to kill the Sand Shinobi that suddenly appeared at the end, Hiroshi Nohara, the Konoha Shinobi player, felt that his perception seemed to have dropped a lot. I muttered secretly in my heart. It must be an illusion. How could a short sword suddenly make it worse? But if it weren't for this sword, I wouldn't have succeeded in killing that Sand Shinobi. Nohara Hiroshi feels that he is very comfortable using the short sword. Later, the Sand Shinobi army gradually withdrew, and the Konoha Shinobi army also began to withdraw its troops. Today's battle is finally over. Nohara Hiroshi followed the large army back to the camp with the short sword, feeling really relieved. Anyway, I successfully survived another day. Not just Nohara Hiroshi, but many Konoha Shinobi fans think this way. The Konoha Shinobi army and the Sand Shinobi army have been anxious about each other for nearly a month. The casualties among each other were heavy. At the beginning of the war, the Sand Shinobi army wanted to invade the Land of Fire to compete for their interests. Konoha Shinobi is to protect the safety of the Fire Country. The Sand Shinobi army has passed through the territory of the Kingdom of Kawa and reached the border of the Kingdom of Fire. The Konoha Shinobi army counterattacked with all their strength, repelling the Sand Shinobi army and driving them away from the border of the Land of Fire. Moreover, the Konoha Shinobi army reached the border of the Land of Wind. At this point, the offensive and defensive momentum between the two reversed. On the contrary, in order to protect the border of the Land of Wind, the Sand Shinobi army tried their best to stop the Konoha Shinobi army. Nohara Hiroshi joined this war not long after graduating from the ninja school, and has been fighting with the Sand Shinobi army for 6 or 7 days. Every day I rely on that ability to barely survive. After returning to the camp safely, Nohara Hiroshi quickly replenished supplies. The ninja bag is filled with shurikens, kunai, detonating charms, ration pills, etc. Zhang San's short sword is also equipped with a leather scabbard. Although the scabbard is very simple, it still gives Zhang San a home. Then, Nohara Hiroshi finished his dinner hastily, returned to the tent and fell asleep. The next day, it was just dawn. Nohara Hiroshi was awakened by the movement of his companions. He simply ate some rice balls and began to prepare for a new day's battle. Soon the battle started again. Explosions, shouts of death, and screams resounded throughout the land again. Hiroshi Nohara traces the chicken thief looking for the lone sand shinobi genin to kill. He threw out a kunai with a detonating talisman wrapped around it. Bang! The detonating talisman suddenly exploded. The loud noise caused the sand shinobi to lose his hearing. Many shurikens were thrown randomly in the direction of Nohara Hiroshi. Swish swish swish. Nohara Hiroshi relied on his elementary perception talent to easily avoid these shuriken attacks. He jumped close to the sand shinobi several times in a row, and swung the short sword to pierce the sand shinobi's heart. Ding! Kill the sand shinobi ***** and get plus 10 evolution points. It's open. Zhang San nodded with satisfaction and looked at the system interface. Host. Zhang San Sword Master. Nohara Hiroshi. Talent. Solid, defense plus 100%, skills. None. Evolution points. 10 100ths. It seems that I have to kill 10 sand shinobi genin before I can evolve again. Thinking like this, Zhang San feels that with the strength of Konoha Shinobi Master Nohara Hiroshi, he can still do it easily. Of course, it was Hiroshi Nohara's elementary perception talent that gave Zhang San a lot of confidence. Ding. Kill the sand shinobi ***** and get plus 10 evolution points. Ding. Kill the sand shinobi ***** and get plus 10 evolution points. Ding. Kill the sand shinobi ***** and get plus 10 evolution points. Ding. Kill the sand shinobi ***** and get plus 10 evolution points. Not long after, Zhang San heard the system prompts 4 more times. Hiroshi Noara is indeed very powerful and smart, specifically looking for sand shinobi genin who is alone and not a big threat to kill. Zhang San felt that with Nohara Hiroshi's cautious style, he might be able to survive this ninja war. By the way, which ninja war is this? At this time, such doubts suddenly flashed in Zhang San's mind. Based on what we have seen now, it is difficult to determine which ninja war it was. I didn't see the key figures either. Suddenly, Nohara Hiroshi became nervous, his whole body trembled, and he whispered. This feeling. Oops, dangerous. Nohara Hiroshi held the short sword tightly and jumped away from the place in an instant. At just this moment, there was a whoosh and a kunai fell into the ground that Nohara Hiroshi had just occupied. Sizzle. Bang. The burning of flames and the explosion of detonating symbols. Let Nohara Hiroshi also be affected to a certain extent. Although it was uncomfortable, he did not suffer many injuries. Wind-style wind-cut technique. A strong wind mixed with the wind-style chakra formed a sharp blade, spinning towards Nohara Hiroshi's body and cutting everything around him. A large branch was easily cut off in midair. We must avoid it. Nohara Hiroshi's alarm bells rang loudly, and his rudimentary perception ability made his scalp tingle. Intuitively, this wind-style ninjutsu cannot be resisted. Immediately move to the side with all your strength. Then quickly mobilize the chakra seal, body replacement technique. When the wind blade was infinitely close, Nohara Hiroshi's ninjutsu limit appeared. Bang. Smoke flashes. The wind blade cut a piece of wood in half with a stabbing sound, and cut off 2 big trees without losing its force. At the critical moment, Nohara Hiroshi rolled aside in embarrassment. Following the intuition in his heart, he looked back in one direction. When I saw the target clearly, I was suddenly shocked. It's not good. At the same time, Zhang San secretly thought in his heart that Nohara Hiroshi seemed to be going cold. That sand shinobi wears a vest and is at least a chunin. Can also use wind-style ninjutsu. This Nohara Hiroshi only knows the basic 3 body technique, and the gap is really too big. Of course, Nohara Hiroshi's elementary perception talent is a trump card. However, such a trump card is vulnerable to absolute strength. Therefore, Zhang San is not very optimistic about Nohara Hiroshi. Nohara Hiroshi looked around and thought. The nearest teammate is not far away, but there is also fighting there, and it is too late to lure them there. Are you just giving up like this? If you die early or die, you will die. Killing so many sand shinobi is enough. Let's risk our lives and fight. Thinking of this, Nohara Hiroshi's expression became determined. This made Jong-san from Short Sword secretly sigh. With this psychological quality, as long as he is given enough opportunities to grow, Jonin is just the starting point. Nohara Hiroshi decided to fight desperately and took out all 6 remaining kunai in his left hand, all of which were tied with detonating talismans. The shurikens have been used up. A clunking sound. Swallow all 3 Bing Liang pills. At this point, the battle between Genin and Chunin is no longer the time to save. Taishu quickly responded. Nohara Hiroshi directly threw 6 kunai rolled with detonating talismans towards the sand shinobi Chunin. Whoosh 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 whoosh. The ear-piercing sound that broke through the air showed how hard Nohara Hiroshi was exerting himself. 3 more smoke bombs were thrown in succession. Ha! This kind of attack. The sand shinobi Chunin sneered, condensing the chakra seals all over his body. Wind-style thousand-faced wind. The wind is raging. The strong wind mixed with the wind-style chakra, turned into thousands of small wind blades, and swept in the direction of Nohara Hiroshi. Of course it was also drawn towards the 6 kunai. Bang 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 bang. There were 6 consecutive explosions, and the sky was filled with sparks and smoke. The remaining large number of wind blades rushed towards Nohara Hiroshi as always. Taking advantage of the smoke cover, Nohara Hiroshi held a short sword and recoiled, directly dispersing the smoke. The sand shinobi Chunin sneered and threw out a kunai, directly piercing Nohara Hiroshi's abdomen. At the same time, another Nohara Hiroshi rushed out from the other direction of the smoke. Clone technique? Such a little trick? Sand shinobi Chunin directly stretched out his right hand and held the figure. He broke the figure's neck with force. Bang. Smoke flashes. What, is this a clone? That just now. At this time, Nohara Hiroshi's true form ignored the injury to his abdomen and rushed over directly holding the short sword. At such an extremely close range, Sand Shinobi Chunin had no time to react. A sting. Fortunately, Nohara Hiroshi's knife did not hit the fatal part. Ahem. Even though you caused me a little damage, you are just a genin after all. Go to hell. Damn Konoha genin. Sand Shinobi Chunin spit out a mouthful of blood and roared. He took out a kunai in his right hand and stabbed Nohara Hiroshi directly in the head. If I can kill you before I die, it won't be a loss for me. Nohara Hiroshi said in a very difficult tone. Sizzle. The sound of burning fire. Detonating charm. Bang bang bang. 3 consecutive explosions drowned Nohara Hiroshi in the Sand Shinobi Chunin. Ding. Kill Sand Shinobi Chunin ****** and gain evolution points +50. Ding. The evolution point is 100/100ths. If the evolution conditions are met, should evolution be started? Ding. The Sword Master Hiroshi Nohara died and dropped the talent, Primary Perception. Do you want to pick it up? The continuous system beeps gave Jong-san no time to lament the death of the first Sword Master. Pick up. Evolution. Jong-san gave the order decisively. Ding. Obtain the talent, Primary Perception. Evolution Choice 1, Talent Brute Force, Strength +100%. Evolution Choice 2, Skill Sprint. Consumes Chakra, Sword Master Speed +30%. Evolution Choice 3, Skill Crescent Moon Chong. When swinging the sword, the curve drawn from the blade releases the chakra into a crescent-shaped slash. Still 3 evolutionary options? Jong-san frowned slightly as he looked at the choices in front of him. Eliminate the second option first. Jong-san feels that the sprinting skill is of little use to these ninjas who are good at short-term bursts. Of course, for those extremely fast ninjas, for a ninja known for his speed like Namikaze Minato, this is quite a bonus. Are you gifted with brute strength? Jong-san looked at the first choice. I remember this choice came up during the first evolution yesterday. The strength is increased by 100%, which is indeed a good choice. It can increase the strength of the Swordmaster. But what about the third option? Jong-san looked at the third option, the skill Crescent Moon Chong. Swinging the sword can deliver a crescent slash, isn't that the power of a chirp? That's a really good ability. This is equivalent to the Swordmaster ninja who can't get the crescent moon and get an extra ability out of thin air. It is also equivalent to learning an additional ninjutsu. It can further show the preciousness and extraordinary features of Zhang San's short sword. Then, evolutionary option 3, confirmed. Thinking of this, Zhang San made the final decision. Evolution choice 3, skill crescent moon Chong, confirmed. Evolution successful. Subsequently, a mysterious power circulated around short sword, and Zhang San also felt the wonderful changes in short sword. Host. Zhang San sword master. None talent. Solid. Defense plus 100%, primary perception. Skill. Crescent Moon Chong evolution points, 0.001. These content changes in the system interface can also make Zhang San understand that he has evolved again. The next evolution requires 1000 evolution points. Remember, the first evolution requires 10 evolution points, the second evolution requires 100 evolution points, and the third evolution requires 1000 evolution points. Well, each evolution is 10 times the previous evolution. Thinking like this, Zhang San looked around. Apart from hearing the sounds of fighting, he couldn't see any ninjas at all. Zhang San was not harmed at all by the close explosion of the detonating talisman just now. It was indeed the right thing to choose the solid talent for the first evolution. Waited for so long. However, I passed by a few Konoha shinobi and San shinobi, and they all left in a flash without noticing Zhang San's short sword. Zhang San had no choice but to insert himself into the San shinobi Chunin's abdomen. Zhang San felt very complicated and bald due to the flow of internal organs. Whoosh. Suddenly, a figure appeared. Zhang San looked over and saw a Konoha shinobi with a naive face. The suspected idiot Konoha shinobi always made Zhang San feel inexplicably familiar, and a glimmer of light flashed in his heart. Such emotional changes made Zhang San's heart move. The Konoha shinobi people who make me feel familiar are all named. The Konoha shinobi player looked around and overlooked Zhang San's short sword. Finally, he looked at the disfigured body of Nohara Hiroshi and said helplessly. It seems that there was a fierce battle here. Konoha Genin and San shinobi Chunin. That companion is a hero. He was able to kill a San shinobi Chunin. With that said, this Konoha shinobi thought about it for a few seconds before leaving. Zhang San felt a little anxious and said loudly. Don't go. Can't you even see my sword? Brother, don't leave. It seems that I heard Zhang San's call. The Konoha shinobi player who had not walked a few steps looked back inexplicably, and naturally saw Zhang San's short sword. Oh, this is a good knife. With this in his mouth, the Konoha shinobi turned around and came to Zhang San's side of the short sword. He reached out and grasped the short sword. At the same time, Zhang San also knew who this Konoha shinobi was. Sword Master. Senju Noaki. Senju Noaki. Isn't that the short-lived ghost who died in the Second Ninja War? So, this war is the Second Ninja War. Zhang San does not know the specific time of Senju Noaki's death, he only knows that it was during the Second Ninja War against Ryo. In other words, Senju Noaki won't live long, so isn't he just a short-lived ghost? Check the knife owner's information. Zhang San said this, and then the information about Senju Noaki was displayed. Sword Master. Senju Noaki age, 12 years old. Talent. None skill. Ninjutsu, clone technique, body replacement technique, transformation technique, water style water barrier, water style water wave, water style water continuous bomb, water style water blade slash, earth style wall, earth style heart beheading technique, earth style tooling gun. As expected of a ninja from the Senju family, he has learned so many ninjutsu. Zhang San felt inexplicably emotional as he looked at the many water-style and earth-style ninjutsu that Senju Noaki knew. Senju Noaki and the first swordmaster Hiroshi Noara were both Konoha genin. But as a civilian ninja, Nohara Hiroshi only learned the three-body technique. That is the basic three-body technique that every Konoha shinobi player must learn. The gap between family ninjas and civilian ninjas is really a gap between heaven and earth. In addition, Senju Noaki is also Orochimaru's apprentice, and the gap is even more unimaginable. However, Senju Noaki is also a member of the Senju family, and is a descendant of first Hokage Senju Hashirama. How can his talent be shown to be nil? Zhang San felt speechless in his heart. The first swordmaster, Hiroshi Noara, was a civilian genin who also had the talent of primary perception. As a ninja from the Senju family, he doesn't have any talent. At this time, Senju Noaki picked up Zhang San's short sword and immediately tried to input chakra. The blade immediately glowed with a blue chakra halo. Senju Noaki immediately laughed and said, Ha 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 ha. I saw it right, this short sword is indeed made of chakra metal. Chakra metal can conduct chakra perfectly. It can also perfectly reflect the nature transformation and morphological changes of chakra. That's what every ninja dreams of. However, chakra metal is rarely distributed in the ninja world, which shows that it is particularly precious. The special weapon Phaeon that Sarutobi Asuma later bought was a chakra knife. Chakra metal? Hearing this, Zhang San's eyes widened, his face full of confusion. Zhang San also knows the preciousness of chakra metal. He didn't expect that he would suddenly turn into the chakra metal short sword. If it were a chakra metal short sword, it would have been impossible not to notice it with the primary perception talent of the first swordmaster Nohara Hiroshi. Then why? Suddenly, an idea flashed in Zhang San's mind, and he thought of the second evolutionary choice. The skill Crescent Moon Chong comes to mind. When you swing the sword, you can release chakra through the blade to form a crescent-shaped slash. Since chakra can be released through the blade, isn't it similar to the properties of chakra metal? Zhang San already figured it out. I thought it was just a simple evolved skill, but I didn't expect that short sword turned into chakra metal. For Zhang San, this is a real surprise. Before its second evolution, short sword had only one solid talent, which did not belong to the category of chakra metal, so the first swordmaster Nohara Hiroshi was not aware of it. After evolving, the nature of short sword was also changed due to the choice of the skill Crescent Moon Clash. Suddenly, Senju Noaki was happy and received the message from short sword. Huh? Can you actually send out a slash, Crescent Moon Chong? Senju Noaki's eyes widened, and after trying to input chakra, he waved forward. Buzz. Whoosh. A blue crescent-shaped slash broke away from the blade in an instant. Rushed forward. It cut through the air, causing ripples. Stab. After cutting off 7 or 8 big trees in succession, they slowly dissipated. Such power stunned Senju Noaki. This also made Zhang San in the blade nod with satisfaction. I was the one who unleashed such a terrifying slash? Senju Noaki stared at the destruction caused by the rising moon. He looked at the short sword in his hand again. Finally shouted, "This is really a precious sword." Then, Senju Noaki looked at Nohara Hiroshi's body on the ground again, and said with a little doubt. However, this short sword has such a powerful slash, but this companion doesn't use it, and instead has to trade his life for his life? Judging from Senju Noaki's knowledge, a slash like the Getsuga Tensho is enough to easily kill a Chunin. Even if he encounters Jonin, he has the power to fight. Senju Noaki didn't understand why Hiroshi Nohara didn't use the Getsuga Sky Chong, but chose to die together with the detonating talisman. Well, maybe it's because this Konoha companion's chakra is exhausted. Later, Senju Noaki thought of this. The Crescent Moon Celestial Chong used just now consumed about 1% of Senju Noaki's chakra. However, Senju Noaki's chakra amount is more than 30 times that of ordinary ninjas. It can be seen that ordinary genin cannot use such a powerful Crescent Moon Celestial multiple times. After finding this reason, Senju Noaki stopped thinking so much. Instead, he rushed into the battlefield, looking for Sand Shinobi to fight again. Noaki, you are indeed a fool. Zhang San in the blade thought so. Senju Noaki's big character is similar to Uzumaki Naruto. They're all big idiots. Qian Noaki held Zhang San's short sword and returned to the battlefield when he saw 3 Sand Shinobi genin blocking his way. Without thinking much, he immediately swung his knife in front of him. Crescent Moon Chong. Chakra input, and the blue crescent-shaped slash was suddenly released. Sprint towards the 3 Sand Shinobi. Whoosh. The 3 Sand Shinobi haven't had time to release their ninjutsu yet. Poof. 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 It was cut in half by the slash of Crescent Moon Sky Chong. After screaming for several minutes, the life finally dissipated and he died completely. Ha ha ha, it's really amazing, Senju Noaki shouted with a laugh. Ding. Kill the Sand Shinobi ***** and get plus 10 evolution points. Ding. Kill the Sand Shinobi ***** and get plus 10 evolution points. Ding. Kill the Sand Shinobi ***** and get plus 10 evolution points. At the same time, Zhang San also heard 3 consecutive system prompts and smiled with satisfaction. 2 Sand Shinobi saw Senju Noaki, who was laughing very arrogantly. Immediately print at the same time, Wind Style Wind Cut Technique. Wind Style Great Breakthrough. Wind Style Chakra is released suddenly. The strong wind, accompanied by the wind blade, swept towards Senju Noaki. Swish swish swish. These two also threw more than 10 kunai towards Senju Noaki. In the past, Senju Noaki would usually defend against such a ninjutsu attack with earth-style ninjutsu, and then counterattack with water-style ninjutsu. But at this time, Senju Noaki just entered chakra and suddenly swung the sword. Crescent Moon Chong. Another crescent-shaped slash filled with great power. A tingling sound. Rub 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 rub. Clang, clang, clang. He directly cut through 2 wind-style ninjutsu, and cut through more than 10 kunai. He rushed towards the 2 sand shinobi chunin with unabated force. Danger, avoid it. A sand shinobi shouted and rolled several tactics to the side. He narrowly escaped this slashing attack. Bang 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 bang. Looking back at the earth that had been cut into a gap, his pupils suddenly narrowed involuntarily. Ah! The screams of another sand shinobi were heard again. Looking over, I saw that the sand shinobi companion had lost an arm. That cut is very smooth. I almost died. What a terrible slash. Crescent Moon Chong. Crescent Moon Chong. Senju Noaki kept up his efforts and released 2 consecutive crescent-shaped slashes. Killed the 2 sand shinobi chunin directly. Ding. Kill the sand shinobi chunin ***** and get 50 evolution points. Ding. Kill the sand shinobi chunin ***** and get 50 evolution points. Evolution points. 131 thousandths. Yes, in such a short time, 130 evolution points can be easily earned. Zhang San smiled happily, very satisfied with the actions of the second swordmaster. Only then did the essence of the short sword change and become the chakra metal knife. It has also become a treasured sword in the eyes of ninjas. Even that idiot Senju Noaki can see the value of short sword. At this time, a figure suddenly rushed behind Senju Noaki. There is silence between actions. However, Senju Noaki actually sensed the danger, and with a thought, he immediately completed the seal. Water-style water barrier. Wow! Senju Noaki spits out a stream of water that swirls around him to form a curtain of water. Poof! The sharp blade attacked the water curtain. Senju Noaki immediately turned around and saw clearly through the water curtain that the attacker was a puppet. The puppet carried a sharp blade of green liquid, which was obviously highly poisonous. The kind of color that can kill you when you touch it makes Senju Noaki's scalp numb. Puppet Ninja? Puppet Ninja is Sanagakure's specialty ninja. He is also a very powerful assassination ninja. A puppet is different from a human being. It has no vital signs and almost no life between actions. Good at using various poisons. Even if Jonin is not careful, he will be poisoned. It's really hard to guard against. Zhang San in the blade watched as Senju Noaki was able to predict the coming danger in advance. It was clear in my heart. That is the ability of innate primary perception. Senju Noaki himself has no such sensory abilities. After holding the short sword, you can predict danger through the short sword's innate primary perception. Of course, Senju Noaki's nerves have not yet noticed this. Don't think too much about this at critical moments in the battle. Water-style water blade slash. After Senju Noaki formed the seal again, the water curtain flowing around him immediately deformed. A long water blade formed along the short sword on the right hand, slashing at the puppet. However, the puppet moved very quickly and immediately flew backwards, avoiding the water blade slash. Tisk. I missed it. At this moment, 4 more puppets appeared simultaneously on the left, right, behind, and above Senju Noaki. The puppet in front also rushed over again. Crunch, crunch, crunch. The puppet's moving joints creaked, as well as those sharp blades stained with venom, filled with Ling Ran's murderous intent. Earth-style multiple earth current walls. Boom. Senju Noaki immediately used earth-style defensive ninjutsu. 4 earthen walls were immediately erected, blocking Senju Noaki's 4 directions. Then he raised his sword and slashed into the sky, inputting chakra. Crescent Moon Chong. A blue crescent-shaped slash rushed towards the puppet in midair. A sting. Directly cutting off the waist of the puppet in midair, causing the puppet to lose its excitement ability. Continuous beheading. Bang 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 bang. At the same time, the 4 puppets around also broke the earth wall. Senju Noaki didn't expect this simple defensive ninjutsu to completely block it, but it was just to delay time. After killing the puppet above, he immediately jumped on the spot and came to a big tree next to him. Holding the short sword tightly, he looked in one direction according to his perception. I saw an older sand shinobi wearing a vest. Apart from that, there are no enemies. Something's wrong. Sand shinobi Jonin. Senju Noaki looked serious and said in a deep voice. Even Jong-san in the blade feels that this wave of Senju Noaki is dangerous. Senju Noaki is just a genin, with at most the strength of an elite genin. With short sword's ability, it's easy to kill Chunin. And Jonin is not something Senju Noaki can handle. Well, there is still some chance. Jong-san suddenly thought of this sand shinobi Jonin as obviously a puppet ninja. A Jonin that can control 5 puppets at the same time is very powerful. However, success is also a puppet, failure is also a puppet. As long as all sand shinobi Jonin's puppets can be cleared away, the threat itself will be greatly reduced. The threat of the puppet ninja lies in the fact that the puppet is unpredictable, carries poison, and is difficult to detect the trajectory of the attack. The original Senju Noaki was naturally unable to cope with it. At this time, Senju Noaki owned the short sword Jong-san. Among them, the talent of primary perception gives Senju Noaki the ability to predict danger and can easily avoid the attack of the puppet. Therefore, Jong-san feels that the possibility of victory in this wave of battles is not small. Well, remember that Senju Noaki is a short-lived ghost, it depends on his own destiny. Jong-san thought so in his heart. The sand shinobi Jonin saw a puppet being cut off by Senju Noaki, his face full of anger, and he shouted sharply. Damn Konoha shinobi! How dare you destroy my treasure? I originally wanted you to die easily, ha! This sand shinobi Jonin has decided in his heart that Senju Noaki's death will be extremely painful. Puppet. After sand shinobi Jonin finished shouting, his hands suddenly moved. Chakra is suddenly released all over the body, and the almost invisible chakra lines move very regularly. The 4 puppets also took action, spinning around Senju Noaki. Long knife, long sword, saw, hook. Various weapons stretched out. They were all smeared with green venom and looked full of danger. The puppet is extremely poisonous and really dangerous. Senju Noaki looked around. Hold short sword across your chest with your right hand and immediately enter chakra. At the same time, the whole body began to rotate. Crescent Moon Chong. Senju Noaki used the skill more than 10 times in a row. The dozen crescent-shaped slashes accompanied Senju Noaki's rotation, and they also rotated and rushed towards the surroundings. Whoosh! Whoosh! Viewed from directly above, it looks like a huge rotating blue chakra chainsaw, cutting everything nearby. Directly cut into pieces the remaining precious puppets of Sand Shinobi Jonin. Again, all the large trees with a radius of more than 20 meters centered on Senju Noaki were cut off. Its power is so terrifying. Senju Noaki just consumes a little chakra. Jong-san's eyes widened in the blade, watching such an incredible scene. This guy Senju Noaki is really surprising. He actually turned Crescent Moon Sky Chong into such an attack method. Jong-san suddenly thought that it seemed that Tsunade or Jiraiya once said. Senju Noaki, like Uzumaki Naruto, are both unexpected ninjas. At this moment, I just believed it in my heart. Sand Shinobi Jonin was naturally in disbelief when he saw the precious puppet being destroyed. How is it possible that a mere Konoha genin has such power? Damn it! You ruined my baby, I'm going to kill you. Said with a ferocious expression, Sand Shinobi Jonin flicked one hand, and the chakra line was suddenly released. The upper body of the first puppet that was severed by Senju Noaki was connected. Crunch. The half-length puppet raised its head, held up the poisonous blade, and charged at Senju Noaki again. At the same time, Sand Shinobi Jonin himself took out a kunai, stood behind the half-length puppet, and rushed over. Is this going to be desperate? Jong-san sighed in his heart. But I can also understand Sand Shinobi Jonin's emotional changes. It's like when an otaku's cherished figure is damaged by a naughty kid, the otaku will also have the idea of killing the naughty kid. Huh, Jonin? Nothing more than that. Senju Noaki laughed and immediately raised the short sword. Enter a lot of chakra. Crescent Moon Chong. Buzz buzz. A crescent-shaped slash directly cut off the half-length puppet. The castration towards Sand Shinobi Jonin's body continues unabated. This sword light? Why does it look so familiar? Sand Shinobi Jonin saw the full face of the crescent-shaped slash up close. That fierce murderous intention always makes Sand Shinobi feel inexplicably familiar. There was no time to think more, and he raised the kunai like a reflex. Clang. Tear it apart. After the sound of Jin-ji. The slash of the Getsuga Tensho easily cut off the kunai, and diagonally cut off half of Sand Shinobi Jonin's chest connected to his head. Suddenly, majestic blood spattered out. In the last few seconds of Sand Shinobi Jonin's life, he suddenly saw a white-haired Konoha shinobi. That seems to be Konoha's White Fang's sword slash? So, this young Konoha shinobi will be Konoha's White Fang's apprentice? Well, it's not unjust to die at the hands of Konoha's White Fang's apprentice. Thinking like this Jonin's consciousness still entered darkness. Ding. Kill Sand Shinobi Jonin ***** and get 250 evolution points. Genin 10 evolution points, Chunin 50 evolution points, Jonin 250 evolution points. Well, a five-fold change? Jong-san pondered in his heart. I looked at the system interface again. Evolution points, 381 thousandths. I have to kill a few more Jonin before I can evolve again. After Senju Noaki saw the complete death of Sand Shinobi Jonin with his own eyes, he shouted incredulously. I killed a Jonin? Ha 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 ha. Senju Noaki looked like a fool as he laughed and danced. After laughing, he looked at Short Sword seriously, grinned and said. It's really my baby. Thanks to you, I can be so powerful. Then, Senju Noaki relied on Jong-san's Short Sword to kill 10 Sand Shinobi Genin and 3 Chunin before ending today's battle. The evolution points of Jong-san's god-level evolution system have also been increased a lot. Evolution points. 631 thousandths. If tomorrow's battle goes well, there will be a wave of evolution. After the battle, Senju Noaki returned to camp with the Konoha shinobi. Arriving at a big tent, he saw Orochimaru and shouted. Teacher Orochimaru, I killed a Sand Shinobi Jonin today, how awesome is that? Listening to Senju Noaki's proud voice, Orochimaru smiled faintly with his snake eyes and said. Really? A white-haired Konoha shinobi next to him also smiled and said. Ha ha ha, don't meet Jonin who is seriously injured and dying, let you pick up the head. Jong-san followed the voice and looked over. The white-haired Konoha shinobi had white hair and black eyes, and he was carrying a short sword on his back. Konoha's White Fang, Hitaki Sakumo, recognized the identity of this Konoha shinobi. He looked at the young Orochimaru again, now looking full of vitality. Sakumo, even though it's a seriously injured Jonin, it's pretty good that Noaki can kill him. The speaker was Uchiha Fugaku, and Jong-san also recognized it. It seems that this time the Uchiha clan also participated in the war. Jong-san could only identify the remaining ninjas as belonging to 3 ninja families, Nara, Akamichi, and Yamanaka. Tsunade and Jiraiya are not here. No ninjas from the Hyuga family were seen either. How can it be? Senju Noaki stared, waved his hands, retorted dissatisfied, and said. That was a puppet ninja. I destroyed all 5 puppets and finally cut them in half with my sword. Senju Noaki describes the battle scene. Hitaki Sakumo first squinted his eyes and said in a deep voice. Cut in half with one knife. Noaki, I don't remember what sword skills you know? Orochimaru's hoarse voice also laughed a few times and said. Noaki, when did you learn sword skills? I remember that you were never able to learn the summoning technique given to you. The other ninjas also looked at Senju Noaki with suspicion. Senju Noaki scratched the back of his head, pulled out Jong-san's short sword, and said. That's because this short sword is meant to input chakra to release a crescent-shaped slash. It was with such slashes that I was able to defeat the Sand Shinobi puppet Jonin. With that said, he handed the short sword to Orochimaru. Orochimaru stretched out his hand to hold the short sword, and immediately narrowed his snake eyes. Inexplicably, he stuck out his tongue and licked the corner of his mouth, and said. This short sword. Orochimaru felt the subtle changes after holding the short sword. Perception has increased a lot, which is the ability given by the innate primary perception. He also received the skill called Crescent Moon Chong. The snake's eyes flashed one after another. A long time. Orochimaru just said softly, this short sword is not an ordinary chakra short sword. Orochimaru then came outside the tent, entered chakra, and waved a knife into the sky. Crescent Moon Chong. A blue crescent-shaped slash rushed directly into the air. It didn't start to dissipate until 30 meters away. It took until nearly 50 meters before it completely dissipated. That slash almost cut off this side's path. The few ninjas watching were stunned. Many ninjas show envy, jealousy and hatred. The capabilities of this short sword really make people salivate. Not to mention short sword's own skills. Let's just say that the blade, which is made of chakra metal, is very precious. Next to him, Hitaki Sakumo narrowed his eyes slightly. After looking at the crescent-shaped slash, he looked at the short sword in Orochimaru's hand. He shook his head and said with a smile, "This short sword is indeed good, but for a ninja, the most important thing is his own strength." Hitaki Sakumo also has a white fang short sword in his hand. Also forged from chakra metal. For Hitaki Sakumo, the white fang short sword was just a handy ninja tool. Of course, only ninjas like Hitaki Sakumo, who have proud ninja strength, will not care about ninja tools. At this time, many Konoha shinobi fans looked at Jong-san's short sword with longing in their eyes. Sword Master. Orochimaru. At this time, the short sword is in Orochimaru's hands. Therefore, Orochimaru became the sword master. Query knife owner information, Jong-san ordered, and then the information about Orochimaru was displayed in front of him. Sword Master. Orochimaru. Level, Konoha Jonin. Age. 24 years old. Talent. Heart of Ninjutsu, increases ninjutsu comprehension by 90%. Ninjutsu power plus 50% intermediate perception. Ninjutsu. 3 body technique, wind style great breakthrough, earth style wall technique, water style water dragon bomb technique, fire style great fireball technique, lightning style pseudo dark. Summoning technique 10,000 snakes, summoning technique triple Rashomon, hidden shadow snake hand, destroy the snakes, 10,000 snakes formation. Orochimaru's attributes made Jong-san's eyes widen. It dazzled him. I exclaimed in my heart. As expected of Orochimaru. Not to mention those 3 talents, but those densely packed ninjutsu and forbidden technique are enough to illustrate Orochimaru's strength. There are nearly 1,000 types of ninjutsu and forbidden technique. As expected of Orochimaru, who made it his ideal to learn all the ninjutsu in the ninja world. The heart of ninjutsu increases ninjutsu understanding by 90%. It turns out that Orochimaru's ninjutsu training talent is so powerful, no wonder he invented so many ninjutsu. Even forbidden techniques like impure world reincarnation can be repaired and learned. Jong-san sighed in his heart. At the same time, he thought with a little yearning. It would be great if Orochimaru could truly become a swordmaster. With Orochimaru's ninja strength, he can kill ninjas more efficiently and also allow me to evolve faster. However, Jong-san also knew in his heart that a powerful ninja like Orochimaru would not take the magical short sword too seriously. What's more, short sword now belongs to Senju Noaki. As a teacher, Orochimaru is even less likely to take away the belongings of his disciples. Therefore, in Jong-san's slightly disappointed eyes, Orochimaru returned the short sword to Senju Noaki. At this moment, the swordmaster became Senju Noaki again. At the same time, Orochimaru licked the corner of his mouth with his long tongue and said with a hoarse voice. "Noaki, your record today is enough. You killed another Jonin with this chakra's short sword. You are also strong enough to become a Chunin. Now, Konoha Genin Senju Noaki, I promote you to Konoha Chunin, and I hope you will continue your efforts. Later, you go to the logistics department to pick up a pair of Chunin armor. Promotion during the war is that simple. There is no need for assessment, and you can be promoted if you get enough merit. To a certain extent, those achievements can also be regarded as assessments. Being able to survive every battle and complete a certain number of enemy kills can also prove one's ninja strength. I remember that idiot Noaki was a genin until he died." At this time, Jong-san was muttering secretly in his heart. "This guy Noaki really wants to thank me. If it weren't for my appearance, how could you have the chance to become a Konoha Chunin?" Of course, Senju Noaki didn't know what Jong-san was thinking. "Ha ha ha, I became a Chunin. Thank you Orochimaru sensei. I will definitely work harder to kill the enemy and contribute my strength to Konoha." Senju Noaki laughed. Waving Jong-san's short sword is really dancing. At this moment, Senju Noaki felt that he was one step closer to becoming a Hokage. Then, Senju Noaki came to the logistics and carefully selected a piece of Chunin armor. He also chose an iron scabbard for Jong-san. Changing from a leather scabbard to an iron scabbard, Jong-san felt that there was not much difference. The next day, the border of the Kingdom of Wind. The Konoha Shinobi Army and the Sand Shinobi Army continued to fight. Senju Noaki, who had changed into a Chunin armor, looked much more energetic. Looking at the Konoha Shinobi who fought hard, they roared. "Kill all the Sand Shinobi!" There was a cry. Noaki pulled out short sword, entered chakra, and swung the sword out of thin air. Crescent Moon Chong. A crescent-shaped slash was directed towards a sand shinobi genin. A tingling sound directly cut this sand shinobi genin in half. It finally dissipated after cutting down 3 big trees. That kind of power is really terrifying. Ding. Kill sand shinobi genin *****. Evolution points +10. Ding. Kill sand shinobi genin *****. Evolution points +10. This is also Zhong San's first entry today. Evolution points, 641 thousandths. Immediately followed, Senju Noaki held Zhong San's short sword and rushed into the battlefield, really killing him. With the talent of primary perception and the skill Crescent Moon Chong, that Senju Noaki has become a sand shinobi genin nemesis. It also made Zhong San hear many system prompts and gained a lot of evolution points. 991 thousandths soon, that evolutionary point will once again meet the evolutionary requirements. Just kill one sand shinobi genin to evolve again. This made Zhong San nod with satisfaction, secretly thinking that Senju Noaki is also very capable. He is a qualified toolman. Zhong San thought so in his heart. Now, Senju Noaki held Zhong San's short sword, chased a sand shinobi chunin, and swung the sword directly. Crescent Moon Chong. A blue crescent-shaped slash rushed towards the back of sand shinobi chunin. At that critical moment, sand shinobi chunin actually dodged and fled in another direction. After failing to kill him, Senju Noaki smashed his mouth and said with a smile, "Where can you escape? You must die today." Speaking, Senju Noaki swung his sword again and again. Crescent Moon Chong. Several blue crescent-shaped slashes rushed over. Buzz buzz buzz. Those slashes tore through the air, making people shudder. However, they were still dodged one by that sand shinobi chunin. It seems that this sand shinobi chunin definitely has the gift of perception. Seeing such a scene, Zhong San thought of this. Don't look at Senju Noaki as a naive person, in fact he is just a bit reckless. After all, he is Orochimaru's disciple and Tsunade's younger brother. The ninja's fighting talent is still very good. It can also be imagined that Sand Shinobi, who was escaping in front, had the talent of perception, so he was able to avoid the attack of Getsuga Tensho so easily. So what about the gift of perception? You are dead today, Noaki, said so. Saying this, Senju Noaki directly held Zhong San's short sword and chased after him. Keep using the skill Crescent Moon Clash. All the big trees along this road were destroyed by Senju Noaki. Suddenly, the sand shinobi chunin in front stopped running and looked back at Senju Noaki with a smile. That smile was full of weirdness. Senju Noaki felt the ridicule, and anger rose in his heart. At the same time, the elementary perception talent carried by Zhong San's short sword made Senju Noaki's scalp numb and his whole body trembled. That was a sign of impending danger. Earth-style multiple earth current walls. With the instinct given by the primary perception talent, Senju Noaki immediately used the earth-style defensive ninjutsu. Boom. Bang 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 bang. The earth shook. Multiple earthen walls were immediately erected, surrounding Senju Noaki. Bang 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 bang. At this moment, a series of explosions suddenly sounded. The dust in the sky shrouded this area, after a long time. After the explosion, countless earth clods fell down from the dilapidated earth wall. Let Senju Noaki behind him finally be safe and sound. However, before Senju Noaki could breathe a sigh of relief, his primary perception talent told him that the danger had not passed. Z's. Z's. The continuous sound of burning flames made Senju Noaki secretly say something bad. After looking through the broken earth wall, the surrounding trees were actually covered with detonating symbols. Within 100 meters, everything was burning detonating symbols. Seeing such a scene, Zhong San in the blade also understood. The idiot Senju Noaki was led into the trap of the explosive talisman formation by Sand Shinobi. At this moment, Senju Noaki is indeed in danger. What a pity, Noaki is going to be cold, Zhong San sighed in his heart. However, Senju Noaki couldn't give up. He also knew in his heart that earth-style defensive ninjutsu could not defend against the detonating talisman formation in this range. Follow the instinct in your heart. Immediately wave the short sword in a certain direction. Chakra entered desperately. Crescent Moon Chong. Continuous crescent-shaped slashes cut down any obstacles within sight ahead. At the critical moment, Senju Noaki exploded all his chakra, exhausted all his strength, and moved in this direction. Bang 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 bang. At the same time, countless detonating symbols were detonated. The continuous explosions and the commotion caused Senju Noaki to grit his teeth as he ran for his life. Boom. The air wave generated by the explosion blew Senju Noaki into the air. He couldn't control his actions in midair, and his hands and feet seemed to have nowhere to go. I don't know how many times it was reversed, after Senju Noaki broke a big tree with a bang. It hit the ground deeply again. A large human-shaped pit was formed. This time, Senju Noaki's head hit the ground first. Oops! I shouted in my heart. Then, his head received a heavy blow, and his brain was unconsciously stirred. Senju Noaki was overwhelmed and fainted, completely unconscious. At the same time, Senju Noaki's hand holding the short sword also loosened inexplicably. Whoosh! Jong-san's short sword followed the impact and was inserted into a big rock in front of him. What happened to this idiot Noaki? Is he dead? Jong-san could not see the specific situation of Senju Noaki in the pit at this time. However, it feels like he is not dead yet, because there was no prompt from the god-level evolution system. The death of the first swordmaster Nohara Hiroshi, Jong-san got the system prompt. Of course, it is also possible that Jong-san's short sword was not held by Senju Noaki at this time, so he could not sense the situation of the sword owner. In addition, Jong-san also remembers that the original Senju Noaki participated in the Second Ninja War and died. Who knows if Senju Noaki's death could have been avoided? Being able to escape from the explosion of such a large-scale detonating talisman formation was considered a fluke. However, compared to Senju Noaki's safety, Jong-san is more concerned about the evolution of short sword. Evolution points. 991 thousandths. What a pity. It's only 10 points short. As long as we can kill one genin. Jong-san sighed in his heart. About half an hour later, a group of Konoha shinobi came here and saw the trees nearby that were destroyed by the explosive talisman array. The earth is full of devastation. How fierce of a battle was this? Ah, there's a Konoha shinobi in the pit over there. Are you still alive? Go and have a look. Watch the trap. With that said, this group of Konoha shinobi came to the vicinity cautiously. Close to the human-shaped pit where Senju Noaki is. After pulling Senju Noaki out of the pit. Ah, isn't this Orochimaru's disciple, Senju Noaki? Sacrificed. Let me see, there's still a heartbeat and breathing. I'm not dead, I just passed out. The head injury seems to have caused him to be knocked unconscious. There are also burn marks on the body, probably caused by the explosion of the detonating talisman. Jong-san heard the conversation of these Konoha shinobi practitioners very clearly. Sure enough, that idiot Noaki is not dead yet. It sounds like the injury is serious. He probably won't be able to wake up in a short time. Immediately followed, a Konoha shinobi noticed the short sword stuck in the large stone. Just walked over to Jong-san. Looks like you found me? The Konoha shinobi pulled out Jong-san's short sword. The moment I hold the short sword in my hand, I already feel something extraordinary. This short sword? This Konoha shinobi immediately opened his eyes wide and felt incredible in his heart. At the same time, Jong-san also got general information about this Konoha shinobi person. Swordmaster. Uchiha Kazuke, a ninja from the Uchiha clan? Jong-san muttered in his heart, and then commanded the system. Query the knife owner's information. Thinking about it, the ninjas of the Uchiha clan should be very powerful. The limits of Sharingan's blood inheritance are also envied by many ninjas. Swordmaster. Uchiha Kazuke level, Konoha Genin. Age. 12 years old. Talent. Fire style ninjutsu power plus 50%. Ninjutsu. Clone technique, body replacement technique, transformation technique, fire style great fireball technique, fire style great fireball technique, water style water barrier, water style water wave. This attribute. Jong-san looked at the attributes of this sword master Uchiha Fusuke, shook his head and said. This Uchiha can't do it. As a member of the Uchiha tribe, I haven't turned on Sharingan yet. Jong-san has always felt that Uchiha who have not awakened Sharingan cannot be called a complete Uchiha tribesman. However, this swordmaster knows a lot of ninjutsu, more than ordinary civilian ninjas. Fire style ninjutsu and water style ninjutsu. The talent fire style ninjutsu is more powerful by 50%. This is probably a must-have talent for the Uchiha tribe. In addition to Sharingan, the Uchiha clan is also famous in the ninja world for fire-style ninjutsu. The fire fan is also the emblem of the Uchiha clan. It can be seen that the Uchiha clan is very good at fire-style ninjutsu. It depends on Uchiha Fusuke's performance. Jong-san thought this in his heart. When Uchiha Kazuke held Jong-san's short sword, he immediately sensed the difference. The talent of primary perception makes Uchiha's wind help the spirit slightly shake. At the same time, I also noticed the skill of Crescent Moon Chong. Uchiha Kazuke tried to input chakra, and the short sword body flashed with blue light. The conduction of chakra is very smooth. Chakra metal, this is probably Senju Noaki's short sword. Uchiha Fusuke thought so in his heart. Last night, when Orochimaru was trying out his sword, Uchiha Kazuke was watching from the side. Naturally, I also know the power of Jong-san's short sword. Uchiha Fusuke did not expect that this short sword would actually be in his hands at this time. Looking at the unconscious Senju Noaki, Uchiha Kazuke secretly said in his heart. This short sword belongs to me now. After a medical ninja inspected Senju Noaki's body, he smiled and said. Noaki's body was not seriously hit. Except for his head, which was slightly serious, his life was not in danger. Hear words. Uchiha Kazuke frowned inexplicably and thought darkly in his heart. Noaki, why don't you die? Then no one will compete with me for this short sword. Of course it is impossible to say such bad thoughts directly. Uchiha Kazuke stared slightly and asked the medical ninja teammate. Then when will Senju Noaki wake up? The teammate pondered for a moment and then said. With Noaki's current physical condition, it will take at least 3 days to wake up. 3 days? Uchiha Kazuke muttered in his mouth. The trio then returned to the camp with the unconscious Senju Noaki. Halfway through, a Sand Shinobi Chunin appeared ahead. Wind-style thousand-faced wind. Without saying anything, Sand Shinobi Chunin directly used wind-style ninjutsu. A large number of rotating wind blades rushed directly towards Uchiha Kazuke and the others. One of Uchiha Kazusuke's teammates reacted immediately and released Earth-style defensive ninjutsu. Earth-style wall. Boom. Ground shaking. An earth wall was immediately erected. Bang bang bang. The messy wind blades cut the earth wall. Whoosh whoosh. Sizzle. Then several kunai shot out, accompanied by the sound of constant burning. Oops, it's a detonating charm. Get out of the way, it's dangerous. Uchiha Fusuke's 2 teammates immediately shouted, but they were still a step slower. Bang bang bang. The continuous explosions directly blew off a teammate's head and arm. Another teammate was also stunned by the aftermath of the explosion. Only Uchiha Kazuke, relying on the elementary perception talent given by Short Sword, managed to escape with a dangerous tactical roll. Taking advantage of this moment, Uchiha Fungzuki also immediately formed the seal. Fire-style Great Fireball technique. A great fireball rushed towards the Sand Shinobi Chunin that suddenly appeared. Following the power of primary perception given by the short sword, he swung the sword hard in the direction of Sand Shinobi Chunin's escape. Crescent Moon Chong. A blue crescent-shaped slash struck the Sand Shinobi Chunin accurately. Directly cut off his upper body diagonally. The Sand Shinobi Chunin screamed several times, and then became silent. Uchiha Kazuke immediately curved the corners of his mouth slightly and said with a smile. What a treasured sword. I killed a Sand Shinobi Chunin so easily. Without the help of Jong-san's short sword, Uchiha Kazuke thought that the battle with Sand Shinobi Chunin would not have been so smooth. Don't talk about victory. The possibility of losing the battle and dying is very high. After all, Uchiha Kazuke is a genin, and that Sand Shinobi is a Chunin. Jong-san's short sword has already bridged the gap between them, giving Uchiha Kazuke overwhelming strength. Ding. Kill Sand Shinobi Chunin *****, evolution points +50. Host. Jong-san Swordmaster, Uchiha Kazuke. Talent. Solid, defense +100%, primary perception. Skill. Crescent Moon Chong evolution points, 1041,000. Ding. Evolution points, 1041,000, if evolution conditions are met, whether to enable evolution. Finally able to evolve again. Start evolution. Jong-san in the blade also laughed happily. Ding. Evolution choice 1, talent brute force, strength +100%. Ding. Evolution choice 2, talent fire attribute ninjutsu power +50%. Ding. Evolution Choice 3, Talent Plunder. Seize the chakra from the body of the slain, and feed back 10% to the sword owner. Zhang San looked at these three evolutionary options carefully and first eliminated evolutionary option 1. Natural brute strength is certainly good. However, judging from the fighting methods of these swordmasters, they would not choose physical close combat. Most of them fight with ninjutsu. The frequency of natural brute strength is quite high, and there will be opportunities in the future. Zhang San thought this in his mind, and looked at the evolutionary option 2 again. The power of the talent fire attribute ninjutsu is plus 50%, which can increase the power of the sword owner by 50% when using fire-style ninjutsu. The talent of this sword master Uchiha Fusuke is also the same. With the addition of the two, the power of his fire-style ninjutsu increases to 100%, which is doubled. Evolution Choice 2 is indeed a good choice for this sword master Uchiha Fusuke. It will be very good for future swordmasters who possess the fire attribute chakra. However, for a sword owner without a fire attribute chakra, it is basically a useless decoration. Finally, Zhang San looked at the third evolutionary option. Talent Plunder. Kill the enemy, and get 10% of the chakra to feed back to the sword owner, which can increase the amount of chakra for the sword owner. Zhang San understands that in this ninja world, the chakra power of ninjas is almost innate. It is extremely difficult for a ninja to increase the amount of chakra. Aside from some dangerous forbidden techniques, the choice is to become a tailed beast Jinchuriki. It's not something ordinary ninjas can do. Therefore, this talent plunder is really a magical skill for ordinary ninjas. Especially for the poor blue ninja, that is really some kind of blessing. Zhang San thought of this and made a decision. Evolutionary Choice 3, confirmed. Evolution Choice 3, Talent Plunder. Seize the chakra from the body of the slain, and feed back 10% to the sword owner, confirmed. Ding. Evolution successful. After evolution is complete. Zhang San felt that something mysterious had changed on short sword. The entire blade seems to have been reforged. Open the system. Host. Zhang San Swordmaster. None. Talent. Solid, defense plus 100%, primary perception. Plunder. Seize chakra from the body of the slain, feed back 10% to the sword owner. Skill. Crescent Moon Chong Evolution Points, 40 10,000ths. Sturdiness, primary perception and plunder, there are 3 talents. Evolution points 40 10,000ths, which requires 10,000 evolution points, is indeed a 10-fold change. There is really a long way to go before the next evolution. Zhang San thought this in his heart. After this wave of evolution of short sword, talent looting has been added. As the current swordmaster, Uchiha Fusuke immediately felt the changes. Received information related to the talent plunder. Uchiha Kazuki immediately opened his eyes wide, feeling extremely incredible. Is this real? Plunder? Can I seize the chakra of the target and increase my own chakra? How is this possible? Uchiha Kazuki's heart is filled with thousands of thoughts. I also understand that Zhang San's short sword is indeed very magical. Zhang San, who was inside the sword, saw Uchiha Kazuki's shocked expression and felt inexplicably want to laugh. At this time, Uchiha Kazuki looked at his unconscious teammates and Senju Noaki on the ground, murmured in a low voice and said, "So, do you want to try this plundering talent?" Looking at his teammates and Senju Noaki, his eyes were filled with murderous intent. It seems that they want to use these two people as people to test the sword. As long as Senju Noaki is killed, then this short sword will truly belong to me. Zhang San saw Uchiha Kazuki's face full of murderous intent, squinted his eyes slightly and said, "Teammates offer sacrifices to the heavens, and their magic power is boundless. It seems that this Uchiha Kazuki wants to awaken Sharingan through this? Kill Senju Noaki to monopolize short sword? However, one of Uchiha Fusuke's teammates just died, and he has not changed much. If you want to kill another teammate to awaken Sharingan, it will most likely not be possible. After all, Sharingan's awakening requires dramatic mood swings. After, Uchiha struggled for a long time before giving up the idea of killing people and seizing the treasure. Killing your companions just for short sword is absolutely unacceptable. At least the short sword is mine now. Uchiha Fusuke thought so in his heart. He still has his own bottom line in his heart. With his unconscious teammates and Senju Noaki, Uchiha returned to the rear of the battlefield. At this point, today's battle ends. The Konoha Shinobi Army and the Sand Shinobi Army both retreated. Orochimaru saw Senju Noaki, who was seriously injured and unconscious. he just frowned slightly and didn't say much. After all, this is a ninja battlefield. Any accident can happen. It is lucky that Senju Noaki was seriously injured and fell into coma but did not die. What about the chakra short sword? Orochimaru didn't see the shortcomings on the unconscious Senju Noaki. After feeling a little pity, I didn't take it to heart anymore. Just as Jong-san thought, with Orochimaru's ninja strength at this time, he would never take a chakra metal short sword that can release slashes to his heart. For ordinary ninjas, a short sword like Jong-san is very precious. For an elite ninja like Orochimaru, it is very easy to obtain a similar chakra metal short sword. Of course, if Orochimaru knew that Jong-san's short sword could continue to evolve, he wouldn't have such a perfunctory attitude. The next day, the sun had just risen, and the battlefield on the border of the Kingdom of Wind was about to break out. Uchiha Fusuke's only surviving teammate is still in a coma. He can only enter the battlefield alone. Swish swish swish. Bang 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 bang. Boom boom boom. The entire border of the Land of Wind is filled with kunai and shurikens. Detonating symbols filled with continuous explosions. Sounds of breaking through the air, screams, and cries of killing continued to be heard. Uchiha Kazuke stepped onto the battlefield and saw the shurikens coming towards him. Swish swish swish. The sound of the shuriken breaking through the air also made Uchiha Fusuke doubt its power. The primary perception power given by Jong-san's short sword allows Uchiha Kazuke to predict the arrival of danger on a small scale. When chakra exploded, he immediately jumped away from the place. Following his perception, he saw Sand Shinobi Genin staring at him. Hold on to short sword and enter chakra. It was just such a swing of the knife. Crescent Moon Chong. A blue crescent-shaped slash accurately struck the Sand Shinobi Genin's body. Successfully completed the kill. Ding. Kill Sand Shinobi Genin *****. Evolution points +10. Hearing this wonderful system prompt, Jong-san suddenly felt relaxed. Well, I finally have another evolution point recorded. Jong-san thought so in his heart, and encouraged the current swordmaster Uchiha Kazuke to continue working hard to kill the enemy. After killing this Sand Shinobi Chunin, short sword's talent loot also came into play. The 10% chakra of Sand Shinobi Chunin poured into Uchiha Kazuke's body along the blade. The increase in chakra amount was immediately felt. Uchiha Kazuke's eyes suddenly widened and he said in surprise. The plunder is actually real. My chakra volume has really increased. Although the increase in chakra amount just now is very small, it is only 10% of the amount of genin chakra after all. However, Uchiha Fusuke is also a genin. Uchiha people generally don't have much chakra. Therefore, Uchiha Kazuke can still clearly perceive the increase in chakra amount. This physical change made Uchiha Fusuke really happy. Even if it's to increase the amount of chakra, we have to work hard to kill the enemy. Uchiha Kazuke's eyes were shining brightly, and they were obviously filled with determination. Jong-san heard Uchiha Fusuke's words and nodded with satisfaction. After all, only if the swordmaster fights hard to kill the enemy can he get more evolution points and continue to evolve. Then, Uchiha Kazuke aimed at a Sand Shinobi Chunin. Hold on to short sword and enter chakra. It was just such a swing of the knife. Crescent Moon Chong. Uchiha Kazuke began killing enemies wantonly just to increase the amount of chakra in his body. About a week later, Senju Noaki's body gradually recovered and he woke up in the Konoha Shinobi army camp. Senju Noaki regained consciousness and immediately clenched his right hand, but he couldn't feel anything. Immediately I exclaimed, "Where's my short sword?" With a sudden jolt, he became completely conscious. Senju Noaki immediately looked around him, and after searching for a long time, he still couldn't find his beloved short sword. "My short sword, where have you been?" my heart shouts loudly. Senju Noaki, who was extremely anxious, suddenly felt a terrible headache again. Well, his right hand immediately pressed hard on his head and rubbed it vigorously. Now, the memory of the battle a week ago was recalled by Senju Noaki. "Did your head hit the ground? Why does your head hurt so much?" "The short sword is most likely lost. I don't know whether it was picked up by the Konoha Shinobi or the Sand Shinobi." Senju Noaki thought so in his heart. The anxious mood finally calmed down. He said a little helplessly, "It seems that the fate between me and that magical sword is not enough after all." At this time, Jong-san, the current owner of short sword, had obtained a lot of chakra through talent plunder. That Uchiha Kazuke's chakra amount is already comparable to that of an ordinary jonin. This is Uchiha's cautious style. Host, Jong-san. Swordmaster. None talent. Solid, defense plus 100%. Primary perception plunder. Seize chakra from the body of the slain, feedback 10% to the sword owner. Skill. Crescent Moon Chong evolution points, 960 10,000ths. However, as the host of Short Sword, Jong-san is really not satisfied. It took 1 week to accumulate 960 evolution points? Isn't this too slow? If it's Senju Noaki, he can get at least 3,000 evolution points this week. Of course, Jong-san also understood that with Uchiha Fusuke's cautious style, he had a great chance of surviving this ninja world war. But I still feel that the Uchiha wind assist is not enough. After Senju Noaki woke up, he felt slightly uncomfortable except for his head. He already felt almost better. Missing Jong-san's short sword in my heart, I stepped into the battlefield again. After all, the war on the border of the Land of Wind is fierce at this time, and every Konoha shinobi must participate in the war. In the battlefield, that Uchiha Kazusuke continued to maintain a cautious fighting style. Except for the head-on fight with Sand Shinobi Genin. When encountering Sand Shinobi, Chunin and Jonin are both obscene side sneak attacks. This is also the reason why Uchiha's wind assist killing efficiency has been too low this week. Just like now, a Sand Shinobi Jonin releases ninjutsu like crazy. Wind style Windblade. Wind style Thousand-Faced Wind. Wind style Great Breakthrough. The wind style ninjutsu flying in the sky killed many Konoha shinobi. Uchiha Kazuke took advantage of the moment when Sand Shinobi Jonin had just finished using his ninjutsu, and immediately waved the short sword repeatedly. Crescent Moon Chong. Several blue crescent-shaped slashes immediately rushed towards the Sand Shinobi Jonin. Because of the primary perception talent given by the short sword, the sword master Uchiha Fusuke can predict the enemy's trajectory. The Getsuga Celestial Chong cuts off Sand Shinobi Jonin's only path. Oops. Sand Shinobi instinctively sensed the crisis and immediately jumped up and left the place. I really didn't expect it to be met with another slash. It was as if he was taking the initiative to die. That Sand Shinobi Jonin's eyes widened. I tried my best to avoid it, but it was already too late. A sting. This Sand Shinobi Jonin's body and armor were severed. The blood spilled covered the land. Both parts of the body fell to the ground with a bang. Ding. Kill Sand Shinobi Jonin ***. Evolution points plus 250. Evolution points. 1,210,000ths. The evolution point has just exceeded 1,000, and this swordmaster is really not good at it. After hearing the system prompt tone, Jong-san whispered in his heart. At the same time, when Senju Noaki entered the battlefield again, he killed a Sand Shinobi Genin with a water-style ninjutsu. From the corner of his eye, he also saw several blue crescent-shaped slashes released by Jong-san's short sword. Is that Crescent Moon Chong? Senju Noaki's heart moved and he looked towards Uchiha Kazuke. Of course Senju Noaki is very familiar with the appearance of the crescent moon opposing the sky. So, my precious short sword is right there. Saying this, Senju Noaki immediately set off for Uchiha Kazuke's side. I want to find traces of Jong-san's short sword. It seems that my fate with my precious short sword is not over yet. Ha 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 ha. Senju Noaki rushed over, smiling so happily in his heart. And at this time, then Uchiha Kazuke was in big trouble. Just after killing a Sand Shinobi Jonin, Jong-san's short sword's talent loot came into play. That 10% of Sand Shinobi Jonin's chakra was integrated into Uchiha Kazuke's body along the short sword. Let Uchiha Fusuke feel the increase in chakra amount again. That is equivalent to an increase in ninja strength. There is a saying in the ninja world. The battle of ninja is the battle of chakra. Generally speaking, ninjas with more chakra have a greater chance of winning. Certainly, this is not absolute. In ninja combat, chakra amount, chakra control, ninjutsu and combat experience are closely related. Don't look at it. At this time, Uchiha Fusuke relied on the plundering talent of Jong-san's short sword to possess a chakra capacity comparable to Jonin. Without the help of Jong-san's short sword, Uchiha Fusuke still couldn't defeat a real Jonin head-on. However, an increase in the amount of chakra is always a thing to be happy about. At this moment, the power of primary perception given by Jong-san's sword made Uchiha Fusuke feel excited all over. All the hairs on the body stand on end, he sensed mortal danger. His eyes immediately widened. Following the instinct carried by the primary perception, he immediately jumped and left the place. Bang. A white figure attacks with a machete. The blade struck the spot where Uchiha Kazuke was standing just now. Cut a big crack into the ground. Almost died. Uchiha Kazuke secretly said that it was dangerous, but he had no time to wipe the cold sweat from his forehead. Following the primary perception, he looked in a certain direction. But he immediately opened his eyes. Jong-san in short sword also opened his eyes wide and said in surprise. It's Chio from Sanagakure. This swordmaster is in danger. Not only Jong-san feels that Uchiha Fungzuki is cold. Even Uchiha Fusuke felt his scalp numb when he saw Sand Shinobi Chio. I thought secretly in my heart. I was actually allowed to meet this ninja. Can I still be alive? Sand Shinobi Chio is not as senile as he will be in the future, and he is still at the peak of his puppet ninjutsu. There are 10 white-clothed puppets of different shapes hovering around Sand Shinobi Chio. This is Sand Shinobi Chio's secret technique to fame. 10 people in Chikamatsu. These 10 puppets were carefully crafted by Bunzaemon, the master of puppets. Each puppet has its own weapons, tools and attack methods. At this moment, Sand Shinobi Chio is the most powerful puppet ninja in the ninja world. Uchiha Kazuke also probably knows the name of Sand Shinobi Chio. That Sand Shinobi Chio squinted his eyes slightly, looked at Uchiha Kazuke, and said, "Young Konoha Shinobi, this sharp swordsmanship is already a bit like Konoha's White Fang. Given you enough time, maybe there will be a second White Fang." He. Speaking of which, Sand Shinobi Chio laughed a few times inexplicably. Then his eyes flashed with murderous intent, and he said in a cold voice, "It's a pity that you don't have this chance. Secret puppet skill, Chikamatsu 10 people, attack." Chio shouted sharply. He suddenly moved his hands. Click, click, click. The 10 puppets of different shapes rushed towards Uchiha Kazuke at great speed. Now, Jong-san in short sword was a little speechless and thought inexplicably. It seems Chio has misunderstood. Mistaken short sword skill Getsuga Tensho is Uchiha Fusuke's swordsmanship. Actually, Uchiha Fusuke's own strength is not that strong. At the same time, Nichio saw Uchiha Kazusuke's sharp sword skills. Still so young. In order to avoid the appearance of the second Konoha's White Fang, I want to kill this genius. After all, that Konoha's White Fang Hitaki Sakumo killed Chio's son and daughter-in-law, causing her deep hurt and unforgettable hatred. Certainly, even if Chio didn't misunderstand Uchiha Fusuke's talent for swordsmanship. At this time in the battlefield, it is natural to kill the Konoha shinobi you encounter. Seeing the 10 puppets rushing over, Uchiha Kazuke had no choice but to fight to the death. Hold Jong-san's short sword tightly, mobilize chakra, and form the seal immediately. Water-style water barrier. Wow! Suddenly, Uchiha Kazuke spit out a mouthful of water. Along with the water attribute chakra, a swirling curtain of water formed around Uchiha Kazuke. Bang bang bang. Bang bang bang. Then the attack of 10 puppets came. Various weapons and ninja tools hit the water curtain. There was a lot of water splashing, fortunately. At this time, Uchiha's chakra amount increased greatly due to short sword's plundering talent. Able to maintain such water-style defensive ninjutsu. Immediately afterwards, Uchiha Kazuke held Jong-san's short sword, entered chakra, and aimed in a direction. Crescent Moon Chong. A blue crescent-shaped slash immediately rushed over. After breaking the water curtain, he still cut open the puppet. The battle started here, in just a few seconds. Chio has already lost a puppet. Such sharp sword skills. Chio frowned and secretly marveled. Compared to White Fang's sword skills, it only lacks a bit of murderous intent. This young Konoha shinobi must not be allowed to live. At this time, the murderous intention in Chio's heart was even worse. For Sanagakure's future, she must kill the ninja she thinks is a genius in swordsmanship. Now, Uchiha Kazuke didn't know that Chio had already decided to kill him. After killing the puppet in front of me, a road appeared in this direction. Uchiha Kazuke didn't hesitate much and immediately took advantage of this gap to jump away. Arriving at a place slightly away from the puppet, facing the Sand Shinobi Chio. Hold Jong-san's short sword tightly and mobilize all the chakra input. Keep waving the short sword. Crescent Moon Chong. Continuous shooting. A dozen blue crescent-shaped slashes formed an unpredictable trajectory and rushed towards Sand Shinobi Chio. Those slashes chilled Chio. Understand that if you fight head-on, you will definitely die. The key point in fighting the puppet ninja is to kill the puppet ninja itself. Uchiha Fusuke thought so in his heart. This is also the experience summed up by the Konoha shinobi who often fight against puppet ninjas. They are all experiences summed up in a large number of lives. Uchiha Kazuki felt that he could avoid the attacks of these puppets and win as long as he killed Chio himself. However, Chio is no ordinary puppet ninja. She is the most powerful puppet ninja still alive in this ninja world. Of course, the puppet ninja Akasaka Scorpion after that does not count. Chio is very experienced in combat, looking at the dozen or so slashes coming towards him. Reacted immediately. His right hand waved violently. The blue chakra line moves erratically, immediately followed. The three puppets that originally besieged Uchiha Kazuki turned their bodies and came to Chio. Click, click, click. The puppet's motor was moving at extremely high speeds. Clang, clang, clang. The three puppets waved the weapons and ninja tools in their hands, and collided with the dozens of slashes. After a few seconds, although the puppets' weapons and ninja tools were all in pieces, one of the puppets also lost a right arm. In the end, Chio's goal was achieved. Those dozen sharp slashes were deflected by Chio. Following Chio's side, he rushed towards both sides. Each sword strike cut off multiple large trees one after another. Such terrifying power made Chio's pupils suddenly shrink. Shocked, Chio's reaction was not slow, her hands almost danced like a flower. Connected to the chakra line, the puppet moves accordingly. Puppet technique: 3 treasures absorb and collapse. 3 puppets formed a triangle formation. The mechanism in the mouth then opened. Buddha La Monk, the mantra appears. A violent tornado flashed out, produces powerful suction. All the trees, grass and dust in front are absorbed and compressed. As the target himself, Uchiha Fusuke's feet were pulled out with 2 long marks. No matter how Uchiha Fusuke mobilized chakra to absorb the ground, he could not withstand this swift and violent wind. It was like someone in front was pulling him hard, and someone behind was pushing him hard. This can't go on like this, Uchiha Kazuki thought to himself. If you continue to be on guard like this, you will most likely be crushed. Such a crucial moment. Uchiha Kazuki thought of fire-style ninjutsu and Zhang San's short sword's own skill Getsuga Tensho. Use fire-style ninjutsu, the wind assists the fire. This violent storm can make Uchiha Fusuke's fire-style ninjutsu even more powerful. Zhang San's short sword comes with the crescent moon chong, which can also be sharper following the wind. It's faster to move towards the crescent moon. Think of this. Uchiha Kazuki no longer hesitated, immediately raised the short sword and entered chakra. Even the puppets attacking from both sides were too late to respond. However, Uchiha felt that after solving the current dilemma, he could also use water-style ninjutsu to defend. However, at this moment, the corners of Chio's mouth that was controlling the puppet curved slightly. It's just that he's young. Although his talent for swordsmanship is good, his combat experience is still a bit lacking. Thinking like this, Chio's right little finger moved slightly. The blue chakra thread is also fluttering. Puppet technique, exercise, attack blade. The right hand of a puppet holding a long sword follows the force of the storm. Almost in the blink of an eye, he arrived at the back of Uchiha Fusuke. The primary perception power given by Zhang San's short sword has just made Uchiha Kazuki aware of the fatal crisis. A sting. The right hand of the puppet holding the sword immediately penetrated Uchiha Kazuki's heart from the back. At this time, Uchiha Kazuki just had time to turn around. Only the puppet's right hand holding the sword can be seen. He looked at the sword head in front of him again. So this is Speaking, Uchiha Kazuki suddenly spat out a few mouthfuls of blood. The eyes gradually lose their luster. The vaguely flashing red magatama was hidden again. Now, Zhang San, who was in the blade of the sword, noticed the change in Uchiha Fusuke's eyes before he died, sighed and said, "Tisk. Did you awaken Sharingan before you died? This sword master is finished." On the occasion of sighing, Zhang San heard the beep of the god-level evolution system. Ding. The sword master Uchiha died and dropped the talent, fire-style ninjutsu power plus 50%, do you want to pick it up? Talent dropped. However, the sword master Uchiha Kazuki awakened the Sharingan before his death. Why didn't it drop? Sharingan is considered a talent, right? Is it because Sharingan existed for a short period of time and the system didn't have time to record it? Zhang San whispered in his heart, still happily accepted this talent. Don't give it up for free. Pick up. Ding. Obtain talent, fire-style ninjutsu power plus 50%. Open system. Host. Zhong-san Swordmaster. None. Talent. Solid, defense plus 100%, primary perception. Plunder. Seize chakra from the body of the slain, feedback 10% to the sword owner. Fire style ninjutsu power plus 50% skill, crescent moon chong. Evolution points. 1210 10,000ths at this moment. As Chio slowly gathered the puppets, a figure appeared from the depths of the forest. Looking at this figure, Zhong-san immediately said his name in his heart. One-tail Shukaku Jinchuriki, share the blessings. This kind-faced bald man is full of the aura of saving all sentient beings. Who would have thought that he is Sanagakure's one-tail Shukaku Jinchuriki? Zhong-san thought secretly in surprise. It seems that the Sand Shinobi army was forced into a desperate situation and they all dispatched the Shukaku Jinchuriki. You know, Jinchuriki, as the top combat power, has always been the trump card of every ninja village. It is still a trump card that is easily used. On the border battlefield of the Kingdom of Wind these days, Zhong-san saw Shukaku Jinchuriki for the first time. It seems that the Sand Shinobi army has been declining recently, so they dispatched the Shukaku Jinchuriki. Do you want to fight to the death? The war between the Sand Shinobi army and the Konoha Shinobi army. In the beginning, it was indeed the Sand Shinobi army that took the initiative and almost invaded the Land of Fire. Then, the army that passed Konoha Shinobi fought back at the risk of their lives. It was almost a month of tug of war. Sand Shinobi's army retreated again and again. They have all retreated to the border of the Kingdom of Wind. If you go further back, you will be in the Kingdom of Wind. At that time, the Konoha Shinobi army invaded the Kingdom of Wind. The Sand Shinobi army and even the entire Sanagakure are going to be in trouble. So, to reverse this disadvantage, perhaps, the Sand Shinobi army also wants to counterattack the Land of Fire. He had to send the treasured Shukaku Jinchuriki. Shukaku Jinchuriki looked around, with a kind face, and said calmly. Chio, is this here? At this time, Chio has taken back the puppets, including those destroyed by Getsuga Tenchong. Looking at the damaged puppet, I felt heartbroken. Fortunately, these damaged golems can also be repaired. At least her white secret technique Shikamatsu Tenman won't be reduced. I heard Shukaku Jinchuriki's question about blessing. Chio put the white secret skill scroll into his arms, nodded and said. This is it. This place is also very close to the camp of the Konoha Shinobi army. By the way, we can destroy it together. When Chio said this, Fenfu just remained silent. You think too much, I can't control Shukaku. Hear words. Chio frowned and said, the tailed beast's uncontrollability is indeed a problem. Forget it. The Sand Shinobi army will leave here later, and the only ones we see are the Konoha Shinobi, so it's not a big problem. Zhong-san inside Short Sword heard these words from Chio and Fenfu. He also lamented the cruelty of war and the insidiousness of Sand Shinobi. Taking the Konoha Shinobi army's camp as a potential target is indeed insidious. The wounded in the camp, as well as the logistics supplies, will be destroyed by the tailed beast in one fell swoop. That would be a serious blow to the momentum of the entire Konoha Shinobi army. In addition, the Konoha Shinobi army will also suffer heavy losses due to the destruction of the tailed beasts. Under the circumstances, the Sand Shinobi army has the possibility of winning. Zhong-san whispered his guess. Naturally, I understand a little. As long as this battle is successful, even if the Sand Shinobi army cannot counterattack the Land of Fire, it is more than enough to protect the stability of the Kingdom of Wind. Later, that Sand Shinobi Chio left here. About 10 minutes later, Shukaku Jinchuriki's expression was dull for a long time, and his bald head reflected the nearby sunlight. Why? Suddenly, Fenfu sighed and said softly. This time, I don't know how many lives have been lost. This time, I have seen mountains of corpses and seas of blood. For what? Is it for Sanagakure, or for the Kingdom of Wind? I don't know, and I don't want to know. In short, this time, all sins will be brought back to me. Good. Finished. The Shukaku Jinchuriki folded his hands in blessing. Saying the Buddha's words loudly, the whole person is filled with compassion. It seems to be able to save everything in the world. Fake sleep technique. Buzz. Just the next second. Shukaku Jinchuriki's aura of sharing blessings suddenly changed. The original compassion disappeared. At first glance, it was full of ferocious killing intent. It's like a humanoid beast. The eyes have been deformed, cross star, Shukaku is out. Zhang-san in short sword naturally saw the strange situation of Fenfu. The blessed soul has fallen asleep, replaced by one-tail Shukaku. Countless yellow sand condensed from Fenfu's feet and adhered to his body. In just 10 seconds, the appearance of sharing blessings is no longer visible. One-tail Shukaku's huge, complete body suddenly appeared. Roar. Ha 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 ha. Ho ho, I'm finally out. One-tail Shukaku, who finally briefly escaped from the seal, laughed and shouted arrogantly. That unique jumping voice echoes throughout the land here. Oh my god. What kind of monster is that? It's actually one-tail Shukaku. How did Sand Shinobi let it out? What a terrifying huge figure. Damn it, how can I fight this? I'm going to die, I'm going to die. Oops, Shukaku looked over. For a time, the entire Konoha Shinobi army was in chaos. Orochimaru stared at one-tail Shukaku in front of him with snake eyes. A hint of surprise appeared in his eyes, and said. I asked why the Sand Shinobi army suddenly evacuated. It turned out to be because Shukaku came out. Orochimaru was feeling strange just now. Although the fighting was fierce, the Sand Shinobi army retreated decisively. The battles in the past few days have always lasted until dusk in the afternoon. An accident happened today? Seeing the huge figure of one-tail Shukaku, Orochimaru suddenly realized. Hitaki Sakumo next to him was holding the white fang short sword, frowning and said. Shukaku must not be allowed to enter the camp. Once the camp is destroyed, Konoha will be in danger in this war. The young Uchiha Fugaku also frowned at the huge Shukaku, and thought inexplicably. If I can awaken the Mangekyo Sharingan similar to my ancestors, I can easily control Shukaku with the Mangekyo Sharingan Genjutsu. However, this is just the beautiful thought in Uchiha Fugaku's heart. Now, Uchiha Fugaku has not yet awakened Mangekyo Sharingan. With his 3 Tomo Sharingan Genjutsu, he still has a long way to go to control the tailed beasts. The Nara clan ninja next to him also said firmly. No matter what, we must fight one-tail Shukaku to the end. Many Konoha Shinobi fans understand the horror of one-tail Shukaku. But for the camp in the rear, they can't even take a step back. So, even if your body is trembling with fear. I was so scared that my hands holding kunai and shuriken turned white. He still chose to fight to the death. This is probably the will of fire. Or just say, the Konoha Shinobi who were brainwashed by the will of fire. Even if you are afraid of death, you must face death. Ha 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 ha. One-tail Shukaku laughed wildly at the army of Konoha Shinobi. The huge cross-star eyes were filled with endless killing intent. He roared. Damn bugs, die. Go to hell. Wind-style practice blank bullets. One-tail Shukaku shouted arrogantly, a sudden, hard slap on the belly. Open your big mouth full of fangs. A huge wind ball containing a large amount of chakra was spit out from his mouth and suddenly rushed in the direction of the Konoha Shinobi army. Hoo ho ho. The wind ball was extremely fast, whistling by. Stirring up the air along the way. Bang. The big wind ball that fell into the Konoha Shinobi army suddenly exploded. The resulting storm struck the nearby Konoha Shinobi. The entire body of Konoha Shinobi at the center of the storm was immediately torn to pieces. The Konoha Shinobi next to them were also blown away by the storm. Many Konoha Shinobi fans fluttered to the ground like falling dumplings. Suddenly, the area was filled with screams, wails, and death. Wind-style practice blank bullets. The one-tail Shukaku spit out multiple large wind balls in succession. The army of those attacking Konoha Shinobi. The Konoha Shinobi army has been thrown into chaos. Certainly, the Konoha Shinobi army did not passively withstand one-tail Shukaku's attack, but they still fought back. Fire-style Great Fireball Technique. Water-style Water Dragon Bomb Technique. Earth-style Multiple Tyrone Guns. Lightning-style Pseudo-Darkness. Wind-style Great Breakthrough. Various ninjutsus rushed towards the one-tail Shukaku. Bang 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 bang. There was a series of explosions. However, these ninjutsu are just tickling one-tail Shukaku. Not even one-tail Shukaku's defense can be destroyed. After all, this one-tail Shukaku is best at defense and doesn't care about this inconspicuous attack. Orochimaru also frowned as he looked at the destroyed one-tail Shukaku. Bite your finger, mobilize the chakra, and complete the seal. Summoning technique. Bang. Suddenly, a cloud of smoke flashed. The huge body of the 10,000 snakes suddenly appeared. The appearance of 10,000 snakes gave the Konoha shinobi a shot in the arm. It was Orochimaru-sama who took action, summoning technique. Very good. Many Konoha shinobi fans are in high spirits. Hitaki Tsukumo held the white fang short sword and looked at the huge one-tail Shukaku, and thought helplessly. Although my sword skills are great, I am not good at fighting such a monster with such a large size and strong defense. There is no way. What Hitaki Tsukumo is best at is assassination. At this time, he had no choice but to release lightning-style ninjutsu to attack one-tail Shukaku. After the 10,000 snakes came out, Snake Eyes saw the one-tail Shukaku, and immediately shouted in dissatisfaction. Orochimaru. What do you mean, you bastard? Do you want me dead? You want me to fight a tailed beast? Although she thinks he is powerful, but you can also understand that the gap between it and the tailed beast is very big. Even one-tail Shukaku and she had murmurs in their hearts. Shi, the sacrifices will be tripled this time. Orochimaru also knows what a bad character his own summoning mon is. It can only be learned to benefit. That's one-tail Shukaku, stop joking. 5 times. It's useless no matter how much you add. That's a tailed beast. If I fight this guy, I don't even know if I can survive. It's useless to ask for so many sacrifices. 10 times. Well, Shi's heart was moved and he hesitated for a moment. I was still dazzled by the tenfold sacrifice. He shook the huge snake head and said, okay, who made me your summoning beast? I'll risk my life and fight. Hitaki Tsukumo next to him looked at such a dramatic bargaining scene and thought helplessly. Orochimaru's summoning mon doesn't look very reliable. However, at least she can give one-tail Shukaku a head-to-head fight. Subsequently, she twisted her huge body and rushed towards the one-tail Shukaku. You damn reptile, how dare you show your teeth to your uncle Shukaku? Suddenly, one-tail Shukaku and Wanzi fought. The whole area was shaken. It was like experiencing a small earthquake. Now. Then Senju Noaki stared dumbfounded at the battle scene between one-tail Shukaku and Shi. He couldn't help but open his mouth in shock. He clenched his fists and said with a trembling tone. They're all monsters. The fluctuations in the battle are so great, even such a long distance is affected. So whispered. Senju Noaki suddenly saw a familiar short sword out of the corner of his eye. That's right. It's Jong-san's short sword. At this time, Uchiha Fusuke was completely cold, and his right hand was still tightly holding Jong-san's short sword. Senju Noaki's eyes immediately widened, very surprised and said, is that my precious short sword? Subsequently, Noaki didn't think much and immediately came to the body of Uchiha Fusuke. Forcefully open the corpse's right hand and pick up Jong-san's short sword. Crescent Moon Chong? Ha ha ha. This is indeed my precious short sword. At this time, Senju Noaki shouted with great joy. When he held Jong-san's short sword again, Senju Noaki immediately felt the power conveyed by the short sword. Naturally very happy, laughing and saying, it seems that my fate with my precious short sword is not over yet. The dancing look also made Jong-san in short sword murmur secretly and said, haha, I didn't expect to meet this guy again. Sword Master. Senju Noaki Jong-san looked at the god-level evolution system. Sure enough, I saw the system prompting the change of knife owner. He also felt that meeting Senju Noaki again was a kind of fate. Jong-san feels that Senju Noaki has performed very well as the swordmaster. Work very hard when killing enemies. It allows Jong-san to quickly accumulate more evolution points. At this time, Senju Noaki who got Jong-san's short sword again. With such a nervous personality, he was so happy that he had forgotten one-tail Shukaku in the distance. Noaki looked at Uchiha Fusuke's body, squinted his eyes slightly, and said, it seems that this precious short sword was picked up by this fellow Konoha shinobi while I was unconscious. Although he was not happy that his fellow Konoha shinobi had inked his precious short sword. But, looking at the body of his companion, Senju Noaki graciously stated that he would not pursue the case further. Death is like a lamp going out. This companion is already dead, so there is no need to pursue him. Now, Senju Noaki, who had calmed down a little, suddenly felt the new ability conveyed by Jong-san's short sword. His eyes suddenly widened. Can you get 10% of the chakra of the enemy you kill? And this fire-style ninjutsu has plus 50% power? How is this going? Senju Noaki was extremely unbelievable. He remembered that Jong-san's short sword did not have these abilities before. Why did he gain these two abilities after being in a coma for only a week? With Senju Noaki's IQ, he can't figure out the reason. But this thought secretly emerged in my mind. This precious short sword has a big secret. After doubt, Senju Noaki ponders the role of these two new abilities. He couldn't help but slap his mouth, frowned, and said, acquire 10% of the chakra amount of the enemy killed, and increase the power of fire-style ninjutsu by 50%. These two abilities are of no use to me. Senju Noaki is a ninja of the Senju clan, another direct bloodline of first Hokage Senju Hashirama. He is born with an amount of chakra dozens of times that of an ordinary ninja. So, since Senju Noaki became a ninja, he has never worried about the lack of chakra. The plundering talent of Zhong-san's short sword is of little use to the sword master Senju Noaki. Also, Senju Noaki also does not possess the fire attribute chakra. The talent that increases the power of fire-style ninjutsu by 50% is also a decoration. Zhong-san from Short Sword also thought of this situation. He couldn't help being slightly speechless and said, well, with such a sharp ability of talent plunder, it turns out to be useless in front of this guy's Senju Noaki? Subsequently, Zhong-san thought again, even if it is of little use, relying on talent plunder to add up to a small amount can double Senju Noaki's originally huge amount of chakra again. So, this talent plunder is not completely useless for Senju Noaki. Which ninja can resist an increase in chakra? Even Senju Noaki, who was born with a large amount of chakra, would be happy to see the more chakra he has, the better. Then, Senju Noaki finished sighing and looked at Uchiha Fusuke's body lying on the ground. The chest was pierced by a sharp blade, and the mouth was full of blood. All illustrate the miserable situation of Uchiha Fusuke. There was still a bit of shock on the stiff face. This made Senju Noaki understand. This fellow Konoha shinobi seemed to have been hit in the heart in an instant. There was no time to resist. This companion is really useless. He can die so easily with the precious short sword in his hand. Senju Noaki looked at the body of Uchiha Kazuke. While muttering this, Senju Noaki believes that with the short sword of Zhong-san, one's basic perception talent can predict danger. It's easy to dodge or counterattack. However, Senju Noaki didn't know that the enemy Uchiha Kazuke encountered was Chio, the most powerful puppet ninja in the ninja world today. If only this was known, Senju Noaki would not be so sarcastic. After all, a ninja of that level, even with Zhong-san's short sword. We can only delay the time of death as much as possible. Senju Noaki held Zhong-san's short sword tightly and looked at the chaotic battlefield in the distance again. At this time, then One-Tail Shukaku and Wan Snake are already fighting. Although Wan Shi's body is huge, it is still several times smaller than Shukaku. The gap between the two is still very large, but Wan Snake moves faster than One-Tail Shukaku. For 10 times the sacrifice, give it a try. Wan Shi thought so in her heart. Roar, roar. He turned around and rushed towards the One-Tail Shukaku. Swish swish swish. Bang 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 bang. He nimbly avoided One-Tail Shukaku's wind style and blank bullets. The ground became bumpy and bumpy wherever it passed. Spin around Shukaku's body and wrap it around tightly. At the same time, Wan Shi opened her big mouth and bit One-Tail Shukaku's shoulder. The sharp fangs pierced the skin directly. Ah! It hurts. It hurts me to death. How dare you, a reptile, bite me? Damn little green crawler. Get down here, One-Tail Shukaku yelled. 2 big hands immediately grabbed Wan Shi's body, pulling hard outwards, trying to tear Wan Shi off. However, Wan Shi also has a flexible body, rough skin and thick flesh. Still able to withstand Shukaku's pull, fortunately. At this time, the 2 big guys started fighting. Let the army of Konoha shinobi breathe a little sigh of relief. Taking advantage of the current gap, Orochimaru, as the battlefield commander, immediately issued an order and said, the sealing team is ready to seal One-Tail Shukaku at any time. Suddenly, the ninjas of Konoha's sealing class immediately agreed in unison. Generally speaking, fight this kind of complete-tailed beast. In addition to resisting with strong ninja strength, it is to re-seal the tailed beast into Jinchuriki. Certainly, just like the Konoha Chunin exam in Zhong-san's memory. That Uzumaki Naruto woke up Gaara using the Suze technique. It is also possible to seal Shukaku again, but such an approach would require finding the Jinchuriki hidden within Shukaku's massive body. The current one-tail Shukaku Jinchuriki has far more experience than the young Gaara. How could the Konoha shinobi find his location? So, the method of waking up Jinchuriki and sharing blessings cannot be used. The only option is to seal one-tail Shukaku. In this regard, Konoha shinobi is well prepared. In this battle with the Sand shinobi army, the tailed beast Jinchuriki was also expected to join the battle. The Seal-class ninjas were also prepared in advance. Even the Sand shinobi army did not send Shukaku Jinchuriki to join the battle. That would be considered prepared, fortunately. At this time, one-tail Shukaku Jinchuriki has appeared. He also released Shukaku very decisively. Orochimaru immediately counterattacked accordingly, and the Sealing-class ninjas were always ready. Senju Noaki here looked at the battle between the two big monsters Shukaku and Wanji, frowning slightly and thinking, I can't wait like this any longer, I have to give Shukaku some color. So many Konoha shinobi fans have chosen to fight to the death with one-tail Shukaku. As a direct successor of the Will of Fire, Senju Noaki will naturally not back down. Holding Jong-san's short sword tightly, he immediately rushed towards the one-tail Shukaku. Dodge and arrive near the battlefield of one-tail Shukaku and 10,000 snakes. It was within the attack range of Crescent Moon Skychong. Such a close distance, Senju Noaki can more clearly perceive Shukaku's horror.